Now, I like this because we start hammering on some philosophers a little bit. No offense to Daryl Cooper and Martyr Maid, because he's a big philosophy guy. I know where you're at, Cooper. I'm gonna agree with Dawson on this one. So here we go. Back to the book. If civilian philosophers fail to explain us, we can explain them. In their world, they are the center of their universe. They look inward instead of outward. The sun rises and sets to minister to their particular happiness. If they die, the stars would vanish. We understand. A few months ago, we too were like that. What makes us reckless of death is our intense gratitude that we have altered. We want to prove ourselves in excess how utterly changed we are from what we were. In his secret heart, the egoist is a self-despiser. Can you imagine what a difference it works in a man after years of self-contempt, at least for one brief moment to approve of himself? Ever since we can remember, we are chained to the prison house of our bodies. We live to feed our bodies, to clothe our bodies, to preserve our bodies, to minister to their passions. Now we know that our bodies are mere flimsy shells in which our souls are paramount. We can fling them aside any minute. They become ignoble the moment the soul has departed. We have proof. Often, at 0 hour, we have seen whole populations of cities go over the top and vanish, leaving behind their bloody rags. We should go mad if we did not believe in immortality. We know that the physical is not the essential part. How better can a man shake off his flesh than at the hour when his spirit is most shining? The exact day when he dies does not matter, tomorrow or 50 years hence. The vital concern is not when, but how. The civilian philosopher considers what we've lost. He forgets that it could never have been ours for long. Giving up the self. You know, there's some Zen, and I'm no Buddhist monk, but there's a lot of Zen philosophy in there too. You're completely surrendering yourself.
Yeah.
And that's a powerful, powerful thing.
You look like you really like that last part there.
It's heavy stuff. And here he kind of goes down the same vein because he's comparing civilian life, and so he just was talking about civilian philosophers, and now he's going to go into just talking about the civilian, even how civilians spend their life and how he used to spend his life. So here we go, back to the book. We probably caught a train every morning. The same train. We went to a business where we sat at a desk. Neither the business nor the desk ever altered. We received the same strafing from the same employer, or if we were the employer, we administered the same strafing. We only did these things that we might eat bread. Our dreams were all selfish. Of more clothes, more respect, more food, bigger houses. The least part of the day we devote to the people and the things we really cared for. And the people we loved, we weren't always even nice to them. And then he breaks and he goes into what it is being a soldier. He says being a soldier is doing a man's job, doing it for someone else, and unafraid to meet God. And now he's about to go in and discuss where this comes from. Nevertheless, it is true, it isn't natural to be brave. How then have multitudes of men acquired this sudden knack of courage? They have acquired it through discipline and training. When you have subjected yourself to discipline, you cease to think of yourself. You are not you, but part of a company of men. If you don't do your duty, you throw the whole machine out. You soon learn the hard lesson that every man's life and every man's service belongs to other people. Of this, the organization of an army is a vivid illustration. Take the infantry, for instance. They can't fight by themselves. They're dependent on the support of the artillery. The artillery, in turn, would be terribly crippled were it not for the gallantry of the air service. If the infantry collapse, the guns have to go back. If the infantry advance, the guns have to be pulled forward. This close interdependence of service on service, division on division, battalion on battery follows right down through the army till it reaches the individual, so that each man feels that the day will be lost if he fails. His imagination becomes intrigued by the immensity of the stakes for which he plays. Any physical calamity which may happen to himself becomes trifling when compared with the disgrace he would bring upon his regiment if he were not courageous.